Speaking of market share, Mac market share has grown pretty significantly. However, this particular article, 9 to 5 Mac, showcases how well Chromebooks have done given the shifting world situation with lockdowns and people being at home and all the rest of it. And it kind of makes sense to me. Now, I knew Macs were doing okay as people rushed to upgrade what their setups look like at home because they were just at home now. Mm-hmm. And so you can imagine getting an improved computer. So Mac market share grew from 5.8% to 7.7% from Q1 to Q4. But if you look at what Chromebooks did, you're talking about a 400% increase. Market share rose from 5.3% at the beginning part of this comparison to 14.4% by the end of the year, twice the share of Mac OS. 14.4% of the entire market of PC sales, Chromebooks. And so, I mean, I know where my speculation goes. I assume a lot of this, and I'm only speaking because I have kids, I have to assume a lot of this is all the students that had to hop on to the Zoom classes and had to hop on to the Google Docs and things like this.
Yeah.
Chromebook is the simplest, cheapest way in many cases for that to take place in a household. So what I'm thinking is maybe it's not so much upgrades, but making sure every person in the house has their own laptop.
Accessible.
Yeah. And in that case, because I know my kids are always saying to me, I just throw them whatever laptop. Mm-hmm. But they're always saying to me, everybody has a Chromebook.
Yeah.
At that age group, when you're talking about like 10-year-olds, it's a lot of Chromebooks. Uh-huh. And they need them. It's absolutely not optional now in the modern environment where basically the whole schooling, when the schools are closed, it went to the dining room table. You know what I'm saying?
Just got pushed to technology.
That's it, man. Technology kind of, it wasn't so bad for technology.
No.
This whole situation.
And I guess with the price point, I mean, all you would need is Zoom and a little bit of word processing.
It's all Google Docs. Everything they do is Google Docs.
Right.
Yep. It's, they have Drive and they have all the projects. And I was watching him mess around in Docs, and I'm like, this guy's better in Docs than I am.
Yeah.
Over here, he's just dragging and dropping from other tabs, and I'm like, oh, you don't even need, like, everything is Chrome.
He's on spreadsheet.
Like, you're just doing everything inside of Chrome. Like, you really don't need an OS for most of what you do. I mean, obviously everybody's different, but for school type tasks, Chromebook gets things done. Now, I will tell you, there's a reason why this isn't completely a fair comparison, because Apple will sell a lot of students iPads too.
Yeah, there's usually a discount with it.
And so that's not included in the Mac analysis, whereas Google only sells the Chromebook. Now, I don't know which is better for the student. I know Apple will tell you an iPad is better than a Chromebook. But what I see with my eyes is a lot of Chromebooks. And I think part of it is cost, but also there's a perception that work has to get done on a laptop.
Right.
And an iPad might be a little bit too much fun or too consumption-based. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it. I know people who do tremendous things exclusively on the iPad. What I am saying, though, is I'm just talking about a general public perception, which does seem to be represented to a certain extent in the figures.
A screen with a keyboard.
A screen with a keyboard means work.
Yeah. For the most part, yeah.
Anyway, another important part of this about this data is that Windows took a dip. So it may not be that Chromebooks even bit into what Apple's doing. It may be that it just snagged it from Windows, that people move away from Windows. Windows, over this same period, went from 87.5% market share to 76.7%. And that's actually the first time Windows has dropped below 80% in decades.
Wow.
So they may have just taken a little bit of market share over there from Windows. Kind of interesting.